Tina Sibley here, and in response to lots of questions about really kind of high level webinar overview, I thought I would make this little video and post it in the group. So what I'm going to do is just go through a very high level basic introduction to webinars and how they work. So the main things that you need for the whole webinar process is a registration page, a thank you page, and an event page. And these pages are going to be very different in the way that they look and when the user gets to them. So the registration page is the first thing that people will come to. That's where you do your advertising. You send people to the registration page. And that page includes all the information about the webinar itself and what's going to be covered, when it is. This is where the user signs up, giving their name and email address. And at the same time, as well as getting added to the webinar attendee list, you can get them added to your own database list, whether that's using Aweber, MailChimp, Infusionsoft, or any of the other autoresponders. That way, after the event is over, if you've got them on your list, you can carry on sending out mailing and marketing campaigns to the people who've signed up to your webinar. Okay, so once people have gone to the registration page and signed up, and they'll be taken to a thank you page. And this is where they get confirmation that they have indeed signed up, and they'll get all the information about the event, when it takes place and how to join. And then at the given time, obviously the people want to get sent to the event page where you will be either running your live webinar event, usually via a Google Hangout on air, or it'll be an auto pre-recorded event if you're going to do automated webinars. Okay, so I'll go through each of these pages in a bit more detail now to show you kind of what they look like, and then afterwards I'll show you where you set them up within the Easy Webinar plugin dashboard. So first of all, then, registration page. This is what a kind of basic registration page is going to look like. And all of this is customizable. You know, you can use different templates to get a different look and feel, and you can use, you know, different color schemes. You can have either an image or you can have a video. This is actually a registration page that I put up. It is a video, but I've taken a screenshot, so it looks like there's an image here in the middle. You can actually have a registration page that has neither video nor image, and you just have the information. Advantages and disadvantages of that. If I just go to the next slide, you can see that this is what the first part, what people see on the screen. And if you scroll down, underneath that, you get the information about the actual webinar itself. But coming back up to the top, I mean, sometimes it's this kind of above the fold thing. If you put an image or a video up, people sometimes don't realise there's a further information down below it. So it's one of those things. You know, if you've got a video and you can say get all the details below as well, then people will scroll down. So this is where people will choose the date. If it's an automated webinar, they usually get a choice of when they can watch. Obviously, if it's a live webinar, that will just be a particular date, and the same for the time. And then they'll just put their name and email address, and they will hit the register now button. And once they hit that register now button, they will be taken to the thank you page, and this is what thank you page is likely to look like. So, you know, registration successful, thank you. That lets them know that yes, it's all worked, and that they've been registered to the webinar. And again, you can put an image here, or you can put a video saying thanks for registering, and you can you know, in that video you can tell them what to expect. There's lots of things that you can do with the thank you page. You can also, I've kept this one simple, but you can also add sharing incentives. So for example, you say, hey, thanks for, you know, registering for this webinar. It's going to be awesome. If you know any friends who you think will also enjoy it, then please do share it. And as a thank you, I will share XYZ with you as a way of saying thank you. And then what you can do is you can give them some kind of freebie, whether it's a PDF or a video or whatever to give them an incentive to share the information about your webinar. Anyway, this is, like I say, a basic nice thank you page, and as you can see on the right hand side here, it's got the name and email address of the person who signed up, when it is, and that is underneath the custom URL, so that's what they will click on when it's time to actually go to the webinar itself. So that's the thank you page. Now, this is the event page, and this is where the Google Hangout happens. So this is me taking part in a Google Hangout. So basically, you just get your heading at the top of the page, and then you've got the video. And again, if this is a live Google Hangout on air, you will just set up a future Google event. And then, you know, if people go to the event page too early, then this won't be here. It'll just, you know, be a gap. And what I often do is prior to the event is I just put an image up saying, hey, you're too early. Although a lot of the time, if they do click on it, they will, you know, get taken to a page that says they're too early anyway. And then when it goes live, hey presto, the Google Hangout starts. And then if you scroll down below the Google Hangout, and this will be the same if it's automated, you would just put the video in, and you just put the YouTube URL of the video in, and that video will play here instead of the live Hangout. And if you scroll down, you can see I'm a little bit further on into the webinar when I took the screenshot of this, because now you can see instead of my face introducing myself, I've just got a one of the slides on the go here. So underneath the Google Hangout window, you've usually got a little bit of blurb about the webinar presentation itself. You can set up fake names which will appear underneath this if you want to, so that somebody doesn't look like they're Billy No Mates if you're not expecting too many people, if you're a beginner. And I've just kept to the default chat box here, but you can change this to have different chat boxes as well. I find usually, particularly for automated webinars, this one is an automated webinar, you might just as well use the default, because then their questions will all be emailed to you. All right, so that is the event page. So that's pretty much it. That's your webinar process. So you've got your registration page, which gives them all the information and where people get signed up, and they also get added to your list. The thank you page, which tells them, yes, they're registered, their place is safe, and this is the URL that they need to click on when it's time to join the webinar. And then finally, at the time of the webinar, they go to the event page where they will find either the Google Hangout on air or the recording if it's an automated webinar. So that's the overview. Now, where do you need to go to set it all up? Well, in your Easy Webinar dashboard, this is where all the magic happens here, and this is where you do all your customization. So as you can see, you just set up the event, in other words, a schedule, when it is, if it's live or automated, and all that kind of information. Then you set up all the details of the registration page, all the details of the thank you page, and all the stuff that you want to see on the event page, such as the URL to the Hangout or the YouTube video, and which type of chat you want to use, and whether you want to set up fake names and all of that kind of stuff. So it's all pretty cool. Now, the notifications, I'll just show you that separately, because the notifications is where you set up your autoresponder code so that you can get them as well as onto the webinar attendee list, which is within Easy Webinar. You can also put them on your Aweber, MailChimp, Infusionsoft, Constant Contact, or whoever your autoresponder happens to be. So you just put the HTML code in here. It's worth mentioning as well that in your autoresponder, you need to make sure that the thank you page is set to the Easy Webinar thank you page as well, just to make sure that they go to the thank you page that you're expecting them to see. Here you can also then choose, you've got a choice. You can either set up all your emails, so all the ones before the webinar saying, hey, your webinar's starting in a day, or 2 hours to go, or your webinar's about to start. You can either set them up from your autoresponder, or you can set them up within EasyWebinar itself. And this is again where you would set up all your pre-webinar emails, and then again afterwards your post webinar email saying thanks for attending, you know, sorry you couldn't make it, and here's the replay and all of that kind of stuff. So that's it. That's a very basic overview for you. As I say, once again, 3 main pages to set up. All of that is very customizable within the EasyWebinar system. You know, some bits are more tricky than others, like if you want to change the heading colors and all of that kind of stuff. But it's a question with playing with it. You can't break it, you can't do anything wrong. My advice would be to set up some webinars just for the sake of playing with it, and not go straight into, you know, the real webinar first off. So set up some dummy webinars, test it all out, see how it all works, set up a dress rehearsal if you like with some of your friends before you go into doing your first live webinar, or indeed setting up automated webinars, which nevertheless are live, for want of a better word. Okay, that's it. I hope you found that helpful. I've also got a great beginner's guide to webinars, which is a free ebook, and you'll find a link to that in the description underneath this video. And also I've got some stuff on Google Hangouts, which is also in the description below this YouTube video. So that's it, and good luck with your next webinar. So all the very best, and let me know how you get on. Cheerio.